All right, we are live. Barstool Units, episode 20, maybe?
What is that? I think it might be 18.
Eight up there. It's May 10th, 2021. I'm Coach Doug's. With me, as always, the Honorable Frank the Tank. Frank, how you doing?
All right. Things have gone strange, I would say.
Yeah, how so?
We got rats and raccoons. Actually, this is episode 19. So
19. All right, I wasn't too far off. Good deal. So 19. Yeah, rats and raccoons. I mean, listen, I've seen some New York rats. I haven't seen the big ones yet. But with my short amount of time up there, I have seen some rats up in New York. I've heard they can be big enough to be confused with raccoons.
Well, they could be.
But yeah, we're obviously talking about the tunnel fight. Well, who knows if it was a fight, a skirmish, if you will. Not really sure what to call it, but
a tete-a-tete.
There you go. And so has there been any word about that, or has the locker room pretty much been sealed as far as everyone's just kind of
sealed to much of the chagrin of the assembled media?
Yeah. Oh, they want that info. Now, as a Mets fan, or obviously somewhat like little skirmish inside with what, Lindor and who else was it?
Jeff McNeil.
Now, as a Mets fan, do you care at all what exactly? I mean, we all know it was some kind of skirmish or fight or argument that kind of boiled over. But as a Mets fan, do you really care? I mean, would you like to know? It's kind of like, hey, I kind of want to know what happened.
If it doesn't affect the team on the field, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, absolutely.
The 1977 Yankees. I think there was a different fight in that dugout every day.
Yeah.
I mean, Reggie Jackson and Thurman Munson hated each other.
But they won on the field, so nobody cared?
Yep.
Yeah.
Munson and Reggie Jackson hated each other. Had to be separated in the dugout. I mean, the 77 Yankees was wild. The 77 and 78 Yankees were a wild time. Greg Nettles, looking back on it, said that when I was growing up, I wanted to either play baseball or join the circus. With the Yankees, I got a chance to do both.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's so. I mean, that was before my time. When I think of the Yankees now, obviously, that could still happen and everything. But when I think of the Yankees, I mean, clean shaven, uniforms on point. Like, I think of their organization, and I mean, would that happen today?
Probably not. Probably not. But Thurman Munson was this blue collar guy who was the captain of the Yankees and sometimes allowed to get away with things other players wouldn't get away with.
Gotcha. And
Reggie Jackson was the brash, look at me, superstar.
Yeah.
And they just were like oil and water.
I hear you. Well, that's like you said, as long as it doesn't affect the field. Now, I've heard, some people have said a fight like this could help the field. It's kind of like, hey, get it off your chest, say what you have to say, and let's get out there and actually play.
Sometimes you can.
Yeah. That reminds me of I can't remember what game it was, but I was at a Jaguars game a couple seasons ago, and we were losing pretty badly. That's why I can't remember which season it was. Just they all blend in. But the guy behind me yelled, "I don't care about the culture." And it was just so out of the blue. And I'm like, wait, what is he talking? And I realized he didn't care what media, how the organization spun, the locker room's in good hopes. He did not care about the culture. And I found that I found it humorous, but at the same time I was like, yeah, to a certain point, as long as you don't have Aaron Hernandez in your locker room, I understand,
you got Aaron Hernandez's teammate.
Well, there's a lot of Aaron Hernandez's teammates that are still playing in the NFL. But yeah, so speaking of that, it appears, I haven't heard anything official, but enough people have said it to where it seems pretty obvious it's going to happen. Tim Tebow to the Jaguars.
That's a signing. Who knows if he's actually going to make the team? It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, now that his fantasy camp days are over with the Mets, thankfully.
Yeah, And well, so this is a little connection here. He was on the Mets. What minor league was he on? Like their Super A team, or was he on
He
Double
got
A?
all the way up to AAA.
He really okay.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, listen, certain people are such great athletes.
He was good. He was okay in Single A. He started to sputter in Double A, and then he was just awful in AAA.
Yeah. Well,
where it was, this guy doesn't belong here. This guy's taking a roster spot. This guy is.
That's the point.
Yeah, that's when it gets bad.
Yeah, and that's where I am. Again, I'm an FSU fan. I find it difficult. Tim Tebow to me is kind of like Peyton Manning in the sense that, like, I know I'm supposed to not like him because his team beat my team all the time, but it's difficult not to like him as a person. I know a lot of people are going to be happy with him signing, but it's going to be the people from 5 years ago or however long ago it was that were flying the planes over the stadium that had like Tebow to the Jags, .com, like they bought a website for it and everything. Those people, I think, they're going to be waiting for Trevor Lawrence to get injured. Like that, that's they think Tim Tebow is going to like be like the waiting in the wings for like him to get a second shot at quarterback. I think a lot of other people are just kind of like, hey, that's cool if he gets a spot. But I think a majority of the people, at least that I know, Jaguar fans, as long as he's not taking up a roster spot, if he can actually, if he's one of the 53 guys, if the coaches really believe that, there's not another guy that can fill that 53rd role, who cares? If he's a tight end fullback that plays a couple of downs a game, as long as he's not screwing anything up, have
the Tyson Hill role.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's a whole nother thing. I'm still collecting Jameis Winston rookie cards. I still think Winston's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback one day.
Well, we'll see what happens. I think Winston is still slated to be the starter in New Orleans.
Yeah, when they gave Hill that ridiculous contract. Of course, none of it's guaranteed, which is funny. Always hearing those ridiculous contract amounts when none of it's guaranteed. But yeah, we'll see. I'm still hopeful that Winston will pull it out and become a Hall of Fame quarterback. We'll see. Well, speaking of Tampa, I'm telling you what, our transitions tonight, they're spot on.
Oh yeah. Hey, Tampa Bay, what do you say? Are you ready to raw dog? Hey, Tampa Bay, can you do raw dog?
Whoop whoop! I'm excited. You're coming down, so you're flying down to Jacksonville Thursday. Yep. So you're flying down Thursday. You're gonna spend a night in Jacksonville, and then first thing Friday morning, you, Quiggs, and myself, we're headed to Tampa.
Quiggs? I thought it was TJ.
It is TJ. Sorry, it's TJ. You're right. Quiggs will probably be making some awesome memes somewhere. But TJ's coming with us. I'm excited.
I figure we could find a few places to do mini golf, a few places to raw dog.
I've been doing research. Yeah, we got
a full state in between Jacksonville and Tampa. I mean, we'll hit a Met game or two.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got the whole weekend.
What sucks is Jacob deGrom is going to likely go on the injured list.
Yeah, I heard. Okay, yeah, so I heard about that. I mean,
the Mets have another screwy week of scheduling where they off today, off Thursday, play 2 games. So the Mets are thinking if they put deGrom on the disabled list, he could pitch in 10 days and only basically miss 1 start. So essentially, that's what's going to happen.
Gotcha. So so it's not like a serious injury. They're just kind of
it's a strained hip and a strained lat muscle, side muscle.
Yeah.
So and what would have sucked is if he was healthy, he would have made one of those starts in Tampa.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
yesterday he didn't have his best stuff and he retired the first 12 batters. Denny, I think the side started acting up in the 5th inning. He gave up a double. He gave up a couple of walks, gave up a run. And that's what he gives up. Six strikeouts, 5 innings. His ERA catapults up to 0.61.
Unbelievable. I mean, yeah, I mean he's obviously a great pitcher. I mean, if everything else with the Mets was going as well as he was, you know.
Well, and I'll be in his neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's from Northern Florida.
Now, is he the one that went to Stetson?
Stetson, yep, he went to
Stetson.
Okay,
yeah. We might actually trying to think of the trip that we're going. We might actually drive by Stetson. We're going to go probably through Orlando, so we might actually get pretty close to Stetson. It's near
How far are you from DeLand, Florida?
Yeah, I believe DeLand is just I think it's just north of Orlando.
Yeah,
so maybe an hour and a half.
DeLand is where he's from.
Yeah, DeLand.
Yeah, he's from
down here in Florida. We call it DeLand. You got DeLand over there and DeLand over here. It's all DeLand. Yeah,
but yeah, it's he's a Northern Florida guy. Here it is. He attended. He was born in DeLand. He was grew up in the city of Ormond Beach.
Ormond Beach, yeah. Ormond Beach is just north of Daytona Beach.
Yep, and of course, there's a possibility he's a Jacksonville Jaguar fan.
Oh, okay. Well, how about that? We need everyone we can get, really.
And here's how I know that. He named his son Jackson, the same spelling as the Jaguars mascot.
Oh, really? With the X?
Jaxson.
Yeah.
I mean, Northern Florida, naming your son after the mascot of the Jaguars.
Yeah,
I wonder if that can't be that much of a coincidence, can it?
No. That's a North. That's as the people would say, that is a Duval thing to do. My oldest nephew, his name is Jackson, because my uncle was Jack, and so he's Jackson, and his middle name they were going to name him Ville, Ville. So his name would be Jacksonville Clark. But they ended up going with his father's first name for his middle name. So instead, his name is Jackson Daniel.
Well, look at me. I'm Frank Earl.
Frank Earl.
Earl. And people couldn't get enough of that last week when I told people at the office
that your middle name was Earl.
Yep.
Frank or Frank? I can't really say that. Frank Earl Fleming.
Yep.
There you go.
And I'm actually named after my grandmother, whose name was Earlis.
There you go. I tell you what. So I have a grandmother named Murtis. I've never heard anyone else named Murtis. And then my other grandmother, who just passed, was Beverly. Beverly's an old school name.
I have a cousin named Beverly.
Really?
Yep.
There you go.
Actually, well, second cousin. It's my father's cousin, but you know how that works.
Here's the deal. I don't know how. I mean, I think I know how that works. None of my parents. So my dad has a sister who didn't have any kids, and my mom had a brother who didn't have any kids. So I have no cousins.
Well, that's sort of like me.
Yeah.
I have no cousins on my father's side, but I have a couple of cousins on my mother's side.
Yeah. I just remember growing up in school, everyone would say, "Oh, that's my cousin. That's my cousin." I'm like, our family reunion is pretty much when everybody got home from work or school.
Yeah, that's sort of like my father's side. My mother's side, it's a little more wide out, spread out. I got a cousin in Alaska, got a cousin in Virginia, got a cousin in Idaho, and I got a cousin in North Dakota.
All over the place.
Yep.
Well, it's been a heck of a week. I tell you what. Now, were you paying attention to the Kentucky Derby?
Yes, I was.
You have to. I don't know if you have to respect it, but at a certain point, you have to appreciate the trainers' commitment to not cheating. And I'll say cheating. It's not. What they got him for wasn't necessarily that he was using some drug that's outlawed or anything. It's a standard drug that all the horses are given for, it's an anti-inflammatory or something like that. So all the horses are given this drug. It's a matter that you're supposed to stop giving it to them 2 weeks before the race. And they found trace amounts in the horse. So they're saying that's cheating.
Well, the chances are Medina Spirit will not run the Preakness.
Yeah, I believe that's already been said. That it's not going to run the Preakness, and the Derby has basically suspended the trainer.
Yeah, he's suspended from Kentucky.
Yeah, that's a nice.
So that destroys this whole horse racing season. Thank you a whole bunch of fucking lot.
Yeah,
Bob Baffert. That means the Belmont's going to be nothing. The Preakness is going to be nothing. Turn your sets off. Everyone go to bed.
Well, now, and so I've just gotten into horse racing, maybe like in the last year or two. Is like the Belmont Stakes and the Preakness and all that. Is that? I mean, obviously those are still on their own. Those are still major races. But did they just lose all value once the Kentucky Derby winner is out?
Pretty much.
Basically everyone's there just to see the Triple Crown, and if it's not the Triple Crown, nobody cares.
Pretty much.
That's unfortunate.
It like takes all the air out of the balloon.
Yeah, that's
if a horse that is going for a Triple Crown at the Belmont on before in pre-COVID times, they'd get like 100,000 people out at Belmont.
Yeah,
I mean it would just be like a whole atmosphere, and without it, then it's just it's a nice race, but it's no different than the Hamiltonian.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it doesn't mean as much without that.
Yeah, it really it's a race, but it's almost like TV ratings will tank. It's just all the air is out of the balloon.
Yeah, it would it would be like the Jaguars going to a Super Bowl instead of some major team where it's like, yeah, hey, like for Jaguars fans it's fun, for the horse owners it's fun, but nobody else. I don't think anybody else would really care.
It would be like watching the Orlando Magic play the Sacramento Kings in the NBA Finals.
There you go. Outside of Sacramento and Orlando, nobody would care at all. Well, that's unfortunate. Especially, I heard White Sox Dave is somehow connected to the horse that came in second.
Yeah, he bet him.
Yeah, I think he said like 9,500 is. I don't think he bet 9,500. I think 9,500 is what he would have won. I mean, that's rough. That's rough that come out again, though. Is it cheating? Is it not? Obviously, this is like the third or fourth time.
Yeah, this guy's been caught too many times. He's filthy. He's dirty. He's
again. You have to appreciate his commitment to the story,
to the cheat.
The same way I appreciate Lindor, being ecstatic talking about a rat and a raccoon. It's like, all right. We get it. You don't want to tell us what happened. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, I tell you what, one place that you won't get steroid horses is in Duggerton Ranch. I'm not sure if you're paying attention. I'm a horse owner now too. I've got a few digital horses myself, some NFTs. Frank, we'll have to get a Frank the Tank horse for sure when breeding opens up.
Well, I want to name my horse About to Be Glue.
We can do that. Once breeding opens up, I can now, unless somebody else has it. Once breeding opens up, one of the horses, we can definitely name that, and we won't have that issue at all. Well, I guess let's get into I guess we don't really have a serious update on the unit house, but the unit house is happening. It is happening.
We just keep hitting roadblock after fucking roadblock. They're doing this online fucking sucks.
Yeah,
and I don't know what fucking agent I could go talk to.
Well, I've reached out. We got connected to somebody, and I've reached out to them. I'm just waiting on them to basically make a search for us. But just to throw it out there and talk about it, we're basically looking for a 3-2 house. Like a house that either has a large living room or a basement, where we can live stream videos or create content, do content things that we would not be able to do in a 2-1 apartment. I'm sure you get messages. I get messages randomly, people sending me links to apartments, and hey, here's an apartment I found, and it's like it's a 2-1, like 400 square feet. It's like, Frank, I don't think one of us could fit in these houses or these apartments.
No, it's ridiculous. It's
but it's there. I'm surprised that it's. I thought for sure that at least the inventory would, at least if there was no inventory, at least the inventory that there was would keep rotating, and we would get like new options coming on the market. It seems that the bad houses or the houses that are not in great condition or whatnot stay on the market, and then it just there aren't many homes out there that are 3-2 with a large living room. But we found a couple, and we're gonna while you're up there, hopefully we can try and get you to go see some of them. Are you busy this week before you head down?
Pretty much. Maybe I could try to get out tomorrow, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, we'll set it up. Like I said, I've got the real estate agent that we're working with, and we'll get once you're back in New Jersey and you can actually tour the house. Like I said, I trust you. I can take based off the pictures and everything, but we're going to get the unit house. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. Well, Frank, what else did you want to talk about here? I think we've talked about Tebow. We've talked about the raccoon.
Well, we got the dozen tournament coming up.
That's exactly what I want to talk about next. Thank you. So I guess people will be seeing this tomorrow at the earliest, so they've probably already seen it. But
the only matchup that's going to air by the time that people see this will be the play-in tournament.
Yeah, and that happened a few hours ago with ZD and Uptown Balls. I'm telling you what, it's great to see that like production quality and everything, and also.
Oh, we came up with some great logos. We had the bowling pins, the bowling shirts.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is going to be a special tournament for people to enjoy and watch.
Yeah. Now, do you have a schedule? We're obviously not going to give any spoilers, but do you have a schedule as to when the first game with Frank and the Freakins?
I believe our first game will air on May 18th.
18th. Oh, wow. That's 8 days.
Yeah. Well, we're the second. We got to buy to the second round, so.
Oh, gotcha. So the whole wow. So the whole first round is going to take about a week.
Yeah.
Wow. And they're releasing that one episode a day?
I believe so.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, for the first episode, it was very funny. It was very funny seeing Dave. Dave said he had no brain. I think he was under the weather when they recorded. But yeah, it's great to see all that production quality and everything. And Jeff D'Lo put a whole lot of work into that, and that's awesome to see it pan out the way it has.
Yep.
All right. Well, I tell you what, Frank, I'm excited. You guys are coming down to Florida. First time in Florida at all, right? Period?
Yes. It's too bad you couldn't stay up in New York too long. This weekend, the Mets had one of the funniest giveaways I've seen in years.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
They gave away this.
Is that Wonder Woman Mets?
It's Mrs. Met dressed as Wonder Woman.
Mrs. Met Wonder Woman. There you go. And that'll go with Mrs. Met as Wonder Woman. There you go.
Yeah.
And that's I remember you posted that. I'm like, if they're giving out a bobblehead, Frank is going to that game.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I even went out there for the Jay Bruce bobblehead, and Jay Bruce sucked.
That is how dedicated you are to Mets bobbleheads.
There once was a man with no use. His name was Jay Bruce.
There you go. Well, I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna have a heck of a time. I think this is only the second major league stadium. I've been to a couple of Braves games back when they were in Turner Field, but I've never been to Tropicana, so this will be my second major league stadium. Going out with friends.
This would be my sixth.
Nice.
And two of them don't exist anymore.
Yeah. Shea Stadium and the old Yankee Stadium?
Yep.
There you go. Well, we'll get you down to Florida, Tropicana Field. I mean, I've heard it's one of the nicest stadiums. We're gonna have a good time.
Depending on the survey, it's either ranked 29th or 30th.
What now? Okay, now I'm curious as to who it alternates with.
Oakland.
There you go. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. When
The
you say it, yeah, that makes sense.
The crumbling stadium in Oakland, where you'd be best off raising up your pants cuffs because the bathrooms are always flooded, and the bathrooms infamously are have troughs at Oakland.
Yeah. Well, hey, I remember Doak Campbell and FSU. We had troughs back in the 90s. So
they built these stands for football in 1996 in Oakland.
Yeah.
When the Raiders came back, they called him Mount Davis, and it blocked any charm and niceness the stadium had.
Yeah.
And then they put up these wooden slats to cover up the football bleachers. It is an ugly stadium. The A's need a new stadium desperately.
Yeah.
Desperately.
Now, the Raiders have left. What are the odds that the A's would leave?
I think the A's chances of leaving are better than 50%.
Really? Where would they go to San Jose? Where would they go?
They want to go to San Jose, but the Giants are blocking them. They could end up following the Raiders to Vegas.
That would be something. That would be something.
Well, I mean, the A's AAA team is actually in Vegas.
Yeah, the Vegas 50. Well, they used to be the 51s.
Aviators. The Aviators. They were the 51s when the Mets were their affiliate.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I think this is one of those weird things I keep track of for no reason whatsoever. I just like minor league sports.
I have a 51s hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. It had the alien on it. An alien head.
Exactly. And they, I think the reason they're the Aviators now is because the owner was like he was a pilot in the Air Force or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those weird things.
It's named in honor of Howard Hughes.
Of who?
Howard Hughes.
Oh, Howard Hughes. Okay, yeah. Well,
and boy, let me tell you, Howard Hughes was a weirdo.
How so? Tell us how so.
He at the end of his life, his life went off the rails. He was mentally ill.
Yeah.
Germaphobe. He refused to bathe. His hair grew long. His fingernails grew long. There was a hotel that he was staying at in Vegas that he refused to pay the bill. So to get out of paying the bill, he actually bought the fucking hotel.
He paid for the hotel.
Yeah.
He bought the hotel.
You ever see the episode of The Simpsons where they open the casino in Springfield and Burns' hair grows long and his fingernails grow long?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, okay. Well, it's one of the older ones.
Yeah.
That was basically what happened to Howard Hughes. And
just let himself go.
Yeah, he let himself go. And this guy reinvented airline travel, reinvented how they shoot movies.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen the movie, I'm sure.
Yeah, the Aviator. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's kind of a Elon Musk before Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last 20 so years of his life, he was just aloof, distant,
didn't take care of himself,
and would often do weird things.
Well, hopefully we can get to that point where we have that kind of money where we just don't care about anything. I will still wash my hands after using the bathroom, though, unlike KFC. I don't know.
Yeah. A few weeks ago, KFC was giving me a hard time.
About what?
Not wearing socks.
Meanwhile, he's putting his socks on with his shit hands.
I very rarely ever wear socks.
Yeah.
Rarely wear socks.
Yeah.
And I've stopped wearing socks about 3 years ago.
I don't really wear socks that often either. I'm wearing sandals.
According to collegeoffashion.net, last year, Blake
shut up, Alexa.
In the fashion world when her character Serena van der Woodsen on Gossip Girl wore her thigh-high socks to school. Did that answer your question?
I didn't ask a question.
What the hell was that?
That was Alexa. That was Alexa.
Yeah, and she said thank you when you said I didn't ask you a question. Thanks for the feedback. What it said something about Gossip Girl or something?
Something about Gossip. I don't know where that came from.
I don't know. I know you're a big Gossip Girl fan. So it must have just had one in the chamber right there. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm excited. We got a heck of a weekend coming up. You're coming down to Florida for the first time. We're going to hit up some mini golf. We're going to go raw dogging.
By the way, you know what Wednesday is, don't you?
No, what?
NFL schedules get released.
Nice. There you go.
And I got to start planning when I'm going to go to Miami and see the Dolphins.
Yeah, hey, you know, we'll be down in Tampa. Tampa's not too far from Miami. I think Dave's in New York, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he was in New York today.
Maybe he'll be down in Miami next week or this weekend.
Maybe
we'll have to just travel across the state and say hello to him.
But yeah, I'm definitely going to try to get to my Dolphin game this fall.
Well, you'll have at least 8 chances for it, right?
9.
They're going to have. Now that's okay. Now that's the thing. How do they determine how many home games?
It's 17 game schedule, and every team got like extra. Yeah, half the teams got extra home games, half the teams got an extra road game.
Yeah, I guess it does. I mean, it doesn't have to be even. I'm just curious how that. But only 3. The way they did that was there's only going to be 3 preseason games, right?
I don't know, something like that. Maybe 2. One is enough.
Yeah. Well, yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's. I think the third game was the only game that really anybody cared about.
Yeah, the first game nobody played. Everyone played a snap just to get a feel.
Yeah.
The second game everyone played a quarter. The third game everyone played a half, maybe start the third quarter, and the fourth game nobody plays except the rookies.
Yeah, just to see who's going to get cut. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I'm excited. We're going to have
the only thing I was hurt by last year's no preseason was Hard Knocks was terrible.
Yeah. I didn't even watch it.
Then again, the Rams and Chargers were not the most interesting teams.
Yeah. Yeah, with those kind of shows, there has to be some drama, or there has to be something. There has to be characters involved.
I mean, I'd love them to go tell Bill Belichick, you have to do it.
Yeah. Like it's happened whether you like it or not.
Yeah. I mean, Bill Belichick would probably have put continue doing this to the camera every 5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Just make it to where it's not usable. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm excited. We got you coming down, and TJ's coming down. We're going to be playing mini golf. We're going to be raw dogging places. We're going to be going to the Mets Rays game. Who knows? There's plenty of time.
Someone told me about a steakhouse in Tampa called Fleming's.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I think I've heard of that. I'd say we'll have to check it out. We'll have plenty of time.
Yeah, but I'm starting to look up places in Jacksonville. I'm going to try to look up a couple other Florida places in Tampa. As I go down there and I go, hey, Tampa Bay, can you go raw dog? Hey, Tampa Bay, can you go raw dog? I'm here to go raw dog. I am here to go raw dog.
Awesome.
I used to know what that song is.
No.
It's actually a takeoff of the Buccaneers fight song.
That's I figured it was, but I wasn't positive. Jacksonville really doesn't have a fight song. Actually, no. I think we might. It's called Sweet Home Alabama by Leonard Skinner. Leonard Skinner's from Jacksonville.
Yeah, but couldn't they pick a different song?
No, ever since I've been going to the Jaguar games, since
I mean, watching how the Jaguars play, more appropriate would be, ooh, that smell! Can't you smell that smell?
And people walking out of the parking lot, give me 3 steps. Give me 3 steps. Yeah, there you go. Some Leonard Skinner references. I'm getting it. Well, Frank, I'm excited. We're gonna have a heck of a weekend. That is Barstool Units, episode 19. Frank, please take us out.
All right, I'm going down to Florida. See you then. It should be a very, very interesting day in the Sunshine State.
Absolutely. There we go. All right, see you guys next time.